Live. Let's go. Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. It's a feel good Friday morning. 32 minutes past 6 a.m. You're listening to the Smooth Breakfast. My name is Ayokunmi, and it's that time to get into the world of business on Business Express on a Tech Friday morning. You know, Fridays are all about tech, the tech world, and everything within that space. And that's what we're looking at today. It'll be no different. It's an interactive session. So we're looking forward to you sharing your thoughts on what we'll be talking about today. Come through on WhatsApp. The number is 0809 440 981 0809 440 981. We're also on YouTube streaming live at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Joining me this morning is Rotus. Rotus, good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Ayo. Good to be with you. Good morning to everyone out there. And yes, it is a Friday, and we're almost home.
I can grasp the weekend in my left and right hands right now. Just waiting to embrace it fully because it's been a long, trying week, but we're here, we're alive, and we're really grateful to see another day.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into it. It's all about tech today, and Google are definitely in the news, and it's all about the Google Notebook LM, and it introduces AI, AI audio overview, basically. Now, from what I saw, there was an excerpt that I saw. And I'll just take this really quickly now. It says, imagine listening to a lively discussion about your latest research project, summarized and analyzed by two AI hosts. Now, that's the power of Notebook LM's audio overview. Upload PDFs, Google Docs slides, and try it for yourself. I mean, these guys are not sitting down. They are not wasting any time. It's all about heading to the next level. And I'll bring you in here, Rotus, to let us know what exactly does Notebook LM do?
Yeah, so Notebook LM is a virtual assistant. And what it has been set up to do is to be able to provide tasks and just make life easy for folks who are involved in research and other endeavors on the website. Yeah, so it's a virtual assistant. That is what it is primed to do. That's what they're trying to take. I mean, AI does a lot of things, and so there's many different subgenres, many different things that it can do. But virtual assistant is what particularly the prime assignment here for Notebook LM.
No, that is something that is really useful to a whole lot of people, having a virtual assistant. When you think about virtual assistant, most times you think about Apple, iOS, Siri, and all that. I mean, iOS users make it a point to say, "Hey, we got Siri. What do you guys got?" and all that. So I know that Google would have been looking at, okay, we're coming for you, something like that.
And
looking at
people. Before I look, I need to use I need to use Siri more. I was getting a hair. I remember I was in barber shop one particular day, and there was the Tom Cruise Jamie Foxx movie, which I couldn't remember, was on. So I just I couldn't really Google because I was in the barber shop. My hands were free. So I just quickly said, "Look, Siri, what is the name of this movie starring Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx?" And it gave me the answer, So I think it's something that folks should just try out more. And anyway, we'll get to Apple in later on, I guess. But yeah, so it worked.
Yeah, indeed. Now, looking at Notebook LM, we understand that it is free. Why is that? I found this on the web for.
Go ahead. See, I said Siri, and so she's speaking. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm talking about Notebook LM. It's actually free. How come?
Yeah, so it's free for now because the Googles, the Apples, the OpenAIs, and all these other guys, are in particular Google is trying to train Gemini. So Gemini is their artificial intelligence software to the world, and so they're trying to just gather as much information as they can in order to train the AI model. So for now, Notebook LM is free. I don't think it will be later on, but it's just a test period for them. So they're just trying to gather as much data as possible to train it.
Interesting stuff. Okay, now let's talk about some of the features here, specifically the audio overview feature. That sounds really exciting. How does it work?
You essentially feed it data. So if you use Google Docs and you have, documents on there, which is If you have slides like Microsoft Excel slides or like Microsoft Word and stuff like that, saved on Google Docs, you can feed it to if you go to the website, and I encourage everyone to go out there and try it out. Just search for NotebookLM and the website will pop up. You essentially feed it a document, it will summarize the document, and then the AI agents will turn it into a podcast. So the way you and I are talking right now, it's a male and a female voice. They just go back and forth talking about summarizing it and just turn it into a podcast episode. And it's very fluid conversation. I mean, of course, Google is American, so there's the little colloquialisms here and there. So it just sounds like you're listening. If no one told you that it was two AI agents that were speaking, you wouldn't know. It's mind-blowing.
That definitely is mind-blowing. And you know what? With every passing day, when you look at all these different AI models and all that, they are getting realer and realer and realer by the day. It gets to the point where you don't even know what is real anymore. I mean, the line between real and AI is getting so very blurred. It's kind of scary,
It is.
but exciting at the same time, really. Now, I want to assume that you have tested this out. So what would you say about that specific? I mean, what was the experience like? What was the feedback like? And how more often will you be using it?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I had an interview with Dr. Yemi Kale of the former head of the former statistician general of the Bureau of Statistics. This was like March of 2023. I wanted to get his thoughts on what the future would look like in Nigeria for the new administration coming in. What are the economic headwinds? So when I prepare my interviews, I sometimes put a document together with the name of the person. I put graphs and charts because it's a business discussion, right? Inflation, this and that. So it's although they pronounce his name as Yemi Kale because it's Americans, right?
I thought
So
as much.
yeah,
Kale,
so
of course.
right. But I was impressed. I tweeted it out. I'll probably send you a summary of what it sounded like. It was pretty interesting. I was pretty blown away. So, yeah, they just treated it like a podcast episode. They mentioned Nigeria. They talked about the challenges, all these summaries that I had made in the documents. They just turned it into a conversation. They were like, okay, what do we do about fuel subsidies and things like that? I was quite impressed. And anyone can test this. If you have a document, you summarize that something, feed it will summarize it and turn it into a conversation.
Huh. You actually just answered the next I was going to ask you that. I mean, this particular feature, can it be used by anyone and everyone? Are there any restrictions as long as one has a document that can be fed into the engine, it's going to give you the necessary feedback that is required. Very
Yep.
interesting. Now, in other words, Apple and Huawei introduced new products this week. What do you think about them? And from Huawei, it's very interesting. Looking at the trifold device and all that. And I was just wondering, how practical is that?
That thing is really thin, though. I'll send you another video I saw because they had one, they've had two videos that have been out. I hadn't seen the second one. It is I don't know how they were able to compress a trifold phone into such a thin bezel. The bezel is really thin. So it's a phone, but it can open up into a tablet. That's the Huawei, I think it's the Mate XT is what it's called. That thing starts at $2,800. Okay, so if you want to
Ouch.
at an exchange rate of 1,600, that's a 4.4 million naira phone. So it is pretty expensive. For Apple, it was and Huawei, they did their reveal literally 24 hours after Apple tried to upstage them or take the news cycle from them. Apple, of course, they are saying they're working with OpenAI. They debuted Apple Intelligence. They talked about the 16 and stuff. So it's an interesting. It was new, but it just shows that AI is basically going to be integrated in phones, laptops coming out later on this year.
Man, I'm just thinking about $2,800, like you said, 4+ million, 4+ million naira. But more importantly, the fact that the phone is that slim, and for me, it just feels like having that in your pockets. Any small move, hair crack, something like that. I don't know how I feel about it, really. I really
You
don't know how I feel about it.
we're at a point where you must, I mean, we're not even at a point. We've always been here. As these smartphones, I mean, they're pocket-sized computers. You have to get them insured. You must get these devices insured against damage and against theft. You gotta do that.
Yeah, interesting times ahead. Anyways, let's talk Taylor Swift, who this week endorsed Kamala Harris and also had something to say about artificial intelligence. What has Taylor Swift been up to?
Well, I mean, just because it's tech, there were fake endorsements of our, fake deepfakes put online saying she was endorsing Trump. So she mentioned it in her Instagram post that she was very worried when she saw those fake endorsements for Trump. And Trump even posted one of them on his Truth Social site. So she just said, listen, these deepfakes from artificial intelligence, they are scary, and she's worried about it. So I just picked out that part about AI that she was talking about in her endorsement.
You know what? Talking about these deep fakes, they're getting scarier and scarier. Like I said earlier on, when it comes to AI and reality, the lines are being blurred so much. Is there anything anyone can do about this? Because that can land people in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're right. People just have to you've got to, depend on media outlets like us, in order to get your correct information. Just verify, did this really happen? If you only see it in one, if all you see is an AI picture of one particular thing or a meme, you got to go elsewhere and check credible news sources to see if what you just saw has been reported elsewhere as factual. So everybody has to do a little bit more research for just swallowing the first thing you see on. So if you see a picture saying Taylor Swift is endorsing Donald Trump, go and check the news. Is it being written anywhere? Is there a statement from Taylor Swift? Did she endorse Donald Trump? So those are the kind of things that one has to just do. Just verify. Go and verify,
Hmm.
before you're misled.
All right. And finally, this week we had a Pan-African AI conference in Lagos and the announcement of a new AI fund for SMEs in Nigeria. What's the quick summary for both of them?
Yeah, the US State Department basically collaborated with the Digital Economy Ministry, run, of course, by Dr. Bosun Tijani. They had a Pan-African Artificial Intelligence Conference where they just talked about education, jobs, scaling AI. And the Digital Economy Ministry announced like a 100 million naira fund just to start for SMEs that want to use AI to improve operations and improve Nigeria. They will basically get a portion of funding there. So yeah, that was pretty much it. It was in Lagos. A lot of people attended in the tech world. The U.S. consulate was there, U.S. State Department. It was a good gathering and shows that Nigeria is trying to take scaling of artificial intelligence seriously.
And that is the sort of thing that we love to hear, taking things to the next level. Let's wrap up with a message here from Tyre. Tyre says, the things AI has done to to Ade Taylor Swift, you won't forget it. Data privacy is important, but often ignored. Tyre, don't let Taylor Swift get you. Ade Taylor, come on. I mean, Ola Taylor could have worked as well. But anyways, thank you for sharing your message there. Thank you so much, Rotus, for joining me this morning on Business Express. It's been a pleasure having you throughout the week.
All right, thanks, man. I'll catch you guys on Monday. Take it easy.
All right, take it easy. And thank you all for being a part of Business Express this lovely Friday morning. Keep it tuned to Smooth 98.1. There's more Feel Good Friday music lined up for you as we count down to 7:30 when Freshly Pressed will be on your radio.